So there's a few things going on in the news right now, and I was gonna make a video about it, but I thought, kind of what's the point? Obama said something about all young boys should have a homosexual assistant raising them or something like that, and usually that's very woke type content. That's the kind of content I make. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of emotionally spiraling a little bit, and I think we all go through as great people, as creatives. I think we all go through those moments where we just really question ourselves, question your own abilities, question the people around you, question your decisions. And I've been kind of going in that emotional spiral a little bit, and it's created a mental fog. So I'm not able to talk about how punk ass Obama said what he said. I'm just kind of in that emotional fog right now, which is fine. Which is fine because I look at my life and I try to live my life to not be a nigger. Like that's my one goal. Just wake up every morning. Just the baseline. Don't be a nigger. Because I've made some pretty niggery decisions before, and I guess I'll talk about some of the niggery decisions I've made. But someone was telling me about how this 40-year-old man was going to visit their mother, their grandmother, whoever, and this almost 50-year-old man saw a UPS package outside and stole it. Obviously, a black dude, and I'm like, where? What in your life? What has to go so bad in your life? How fucked up does your life have to be that you, as a 40-year-old man, you see a random UPS package and you don't just keep walking. You think, I gotta steal this shit. I gotta be a nigger in this moment. And I think, God, just don't let that be me. I know I've done some niggery things before. Yeah, I know I haven't lived my life. I know I haven't made the best decisions. But just don't let me be the 40-year-old man seeing random UPS packages. I gotta steal that shit. I'm just nigger shit. I've done some pretty nigger shit before. I used to fight my ex back in college. We used to go back and forth, arguing in public. And I think, man, I truly was a nigger. But I'm trying to elevate past niggerdom. I truly am trying. Every day I live my life. I enrolled back in school, and on August 10th, I'm going to be in my classes. I'm going to be talking about the classes I'm taking. Um, I'm starting my own shea butter business. I'm going to sell it here on YouTube. I'm going to order raw shea from Africa, create a batch here, sell it on YouTube. Trying to expand my life because I'm 31 now. My 20s I kind of fucked up a little bit. I just got a little bit outrageous with the hoes, a little bit outrageous with the drinking. And I lived my life as though there wouldn't be a 30. And once I hit 30, I see people doing all these things, it makes me depressed. I'm becoming jaded. It makes me depressed when I see other people do good in life. And I realize that only instead of becoming, and that's the first step in becoming a hater. I saw my old friend from back in high school. This is what kind of started the whole spiraling. I saw that he got an MBA degree, a master's degree, that fucking nerd ass nigga. And that was my reaction when I saw that he got a master's degree. My reaction wasn't, "Oh, congratulations, Tevin." My reaction wasn't, "Oh, I'm so happy for this nigga." My reaction was this: "Look at this fucking nerd, all happy and shit." And that's the first step to becoming a lifelong hater. And I caught myself in that moment. And I caught myself, and I'm like, why did I just call him a punk ass nerd ass nigga? And I thought it's because you're becoming a hater. You flunked out of college because you was arguing with that bitch. You've been fucking all these hoes. You've let multiple bitches get you fired from your job. And he hasn't been doing that. He fucked with white women. He's got a white woman now. He hangs out with white people. Power to him. Fucking nerd. But I saw that, and I'm like, I don't want to be like this forever. I'm fat. Okay, I've gained like lots of weight. I used to work out, and I got to a point where I just didn't even work out anymore. But that really happened with my ex-girlfriend Dynasty. I was with that big old 500 pound. She was actually 600 pounds. She was on the show. She was on the show My 600 Pound Life. And I probably weighed about, I'm 6'2", and so I probably weighed about 250 when I was with her. By the end of that 2-year relationship, I was well over like 300 pounds. I was like 330. And I looked at the mirror, I'm like, how the fuck? How the fuck did I let this happen? It's not her fault. Because she would go to McDonald's and order chicken nuggets. And I could have said no. When I said, yeah, I'm going to eat the chicken nuggets with you. She would go then right after that, go to an ice cream shop and get 3 or 4 dips of ice cream, 3 or 4 scoops of ice cream. And I could have said, nah, I'm not going to get fat with this bitch. It's a reason why she's 600 pounds. But I said, I'm going to eat some ice cream too. And before you know it, I went from like 250 in 2 years. I swear to God, I can show you old pictures. I went from like 250 to well over 300. And now I'm like, whoa, I'm a fat, black, unhappy motherfucker. I'm a fat, black, unhappy mother. And it's my fault. I'm not going to be like these black women who think, oh, girl, it's just hard being a black woman. No, shut up, bitch. It's not hard. It's only hard because you made it hard. And I'm only having the spiral because I made it hard for myself because I could have made better decisions. I'm just as smart as my nerd ass friend, but I chose other priorities. So I'm reaching a point in my life where I do want to be consistent in posting content because I want to be the realest, rawest person on YouTube. I'm going to be consistent with my education. I know college is just one big indoctrination camp, but I got to be consistent in something, get something accomplished. I'm going to try to be consistent with the shea butter business, but that's one of those fleeting ideas. If it doesn't work out in a couple of months, I'll probably drop that. But college, this YouTube, I've also been on a weight loss journey. I've been taking supplements every day, trying to work out. I've been pretty consistent the last month. I got to drop down from this 330. I've got to drop down from the 330. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm somewhere in the high 200s. We're going to try to get back to that 250 that we were whenever I was beautiful before I met this bitch. And we're going to try it. And I'm not going to be jaded. I'm not going to be one of those old bitter ass men in my 40s that steals UPS packages from people. I don't even want to, see successful people and be like, oh, that's a nerd. Look at that punk ass. I don't want to be that. That's not who I am. But as a result of my very niggery decisions, this is where I've wound it up. But it's okay because I'm just 31. Okay, there's still time for a redemption arc. Most men don't hit their prime until like 30 to 35. So I really should be in the middle of my prime right now. But the prime is delayed. But the prime it is to come. It is to come because I'm capable of it. And I'm a big minded thinking person. I'm a big thought thinking person. A big thought thinking. I think big thoughts. I am big, not because I'm 330 pounds, but I am big because I think big. Right? I am big. I am that I say I am. I truly believe that. I just got to get away from my small-minded thinking friends, because my friend, and this, I'm going to say this and I'm going to close, I got some small-minded thinking, jealous-ass friends, okay? Yeah, I'm not going to say their names, but fuck it. I'll talk about my small-minded thinking friends. One of them is doing pretty good. He's a mail carrier. But this nigga, I don't want to carry mail all my fucking life, okay? He makes pretty good money being a mail carrier. But I kill myself. If I thought that God gave me this great mind just to be a mail carrier, I would kill myself and I'd get back in front of God after I kill myself and be like, God, what the fuck, man? Why did you send me down there just to hand out mail? No, I'd rather be dead. Like my other friend, he works at a call center. I tried working at a call center. I'd kill myself. I'd say, God, you gave me all these thoughts that I have just to work at a fucking... No, I'd rather be dead. No, truly. And fuck you for putting me down here. And I tell God just like that. Because God would have to be some type of a real asshole to give me the great mind that I have, all the great thoughts that I have, all the amazingness that sits in between my ears and just be a mail carrier or just work at a call center. And so when I tell my friends about my YouTube and my big ideas, they're like, "Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool." Because their mind can't think outside of call center. Their mind can't think outside of mail carrier. And maybe that's the hater inside of me saying that. Maybe. But I don't think it is. I think it's something bigger. I just got to keep working at it like I'm doing. And I'm going to be consistent. Watch this space. Watch this space, as the newscasters say. And remember to like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay woke.